lava. Simultaneously one of the most badass elemental manifestations and a power that tends to be used when all good ideas have been exhausted, lava actually is a good idea in the Mortal Kombat mythos, mostly because I made it work. Force balls and acid balls are fire plus water, smoke is fire plus air, blood is made up of oxygen, water, and various nutrients and minerals like iron, copper, zinc, many of which are found in the earth, so that's air plus water plus earth. Lightning is water plus air plus fire. Soul is all four primary elements. Reference this video for a better explanation. However, that list, that video, my life's work, not really, is incomplete, as it doesn't cover all possible permutations of elements, nor does it include all of the rarer, more exotic powers we see in this universe like lava, so let's cover that one here. Although some elemental combinations are more on the contrived side, requiring some suspension of disbelief and citing the "it's magic bro" mantra that's so near and dear to every lore writer's heart, other combos make total sense and mirror reality to a T, like sand, which the real world says is earth and rocks that have been eroded by the wind and other elements over time, and that I say equals earth plus air, which is the same thing. Nature agrees with me, it is my bitch. And lava is the same way. It is molten earth subjected to extreme temperatures that literally melts and becomes a fiery sludge of doom. In other words, lava equals earth plus fire. Sounds catchier, right? There are a few characters who use lava in Mortal Kombat land, and today we're gonna go through the most notable ones. First, let's cross off a couple things off the top of my head that look like lava, but kind of snake around the definition, like Shang Tsung's throw in MK11, which, even though it looks like he's stuffing his opponent into this pit of lava, functionally no different than what family reunions feel like, it's hard to imagine this as actual lava, since it would cause agonizing screams, way more damage, and likely count as an instant fatality if it were. There is a brutality associated with this move which allows a better look at it, and as expected, it's kind of like a fiery pit, most likely a portal to the Netherrealm, and is used as such. Yes, there's fire, yes, there's brimstone, but I wouldn't log this as full-on lava, especially since Shang himself boasts no such element, only having fire and soul under his repertoire, with a dash of illusion sprinkled on top. Another less than honorable mention is Blaze. Now, Blaze has a couple moves in Armageddon that look like they fall in the general lava ballpark, and Blaze himself resembles a giant slab of fiery molten rock, but he is listed as a fire spawn. Most of his incarnations resemble a typical fire elemental, and he was spawned by Delia, a fire sorceress, at the end of the day, so make of that what you will. Is he lava? Is he not lava? I don't know! But enough stalling. Let's move on to some truly lovable characters, starting with Hotaru. He is the man, the myth, the legend, the order freak, the OCD knight in shiny armor. He is the one who makes the the ah, and the ah. The man with the handsome armor. Every week I get at least one question about Hotaru. For a character that appeared in 2 games, 1.5 really, they reused every single asset in Armageddon, this guy has quite the fan club, possibly because he looks like the love child of Legolas and Sauron. To me, he looks like a walking rampart. Hotaru's only incarnation that we have to go on is from Mortal Kombat Deception / Armageddon, and as I've previously discussed with that version of Ashra, the effects can be a bit loose and slimy, kinda like your uncle, and formless and undefined, kinda like your transgender cousins. And so it's hard to tell exactly what some of these attacks are supposed to be, which is also why people keep asking about this character, cause this looks kinda like lava, but it's yellow. On top of that, an argument could also be made for him having some kind of light mastery as well, and the reason is Kenshi's deception ending. In it, Hotaru launches an attack that is described as a blast of glowing energy that blinds Sub-Zero, so that sounds an awfully lot like light, or light and lava at the same time. And then his low projectile does pop enemies up for a combo, which some argue resemble force attacks, plus the effects look pretty light-like rather than like actual lava, so all this is pretty confusing. Let's go through them in reverse order. The yellow hue of his attacks is probably just a product of its time. I'm sure that if the devs had another go at Hotaru, they'd definitely lean more on the lava thing rather than leaving it as poorly defined as the Christopher Nolan ending. The explosive force is pretty feasible for lava, since if you think about it, a mini volcanic eruption would easily generate enough kinetic force to blast things into the air, and metallic tremors rolling lava balls, that's a mouthful, also pop enemies up on hit. Since lava is fire plus earth, both of those can generate plenty of force on their own. Lastly, that deception ending seems like it was done just to be able to turn Kenshi's blindness into an advantage, and they couldn't find an enemy other than Hotaru to shoot a blinding flash. We can totally peg him as a light user too, but that's really the only instance where he does anything like that. And fire/lava can definitely flash you a bit, especially if you're in a dark environment and then suddenly get your eyes overexposed to the light it generates. His charging punch thing from Armageddon can totally be lava too. Fire, earth, lava, all these can be used to propel you forward easily. On a symbolic note, it makes a certain amount of sense that Hotaru would be a mixture of rock and fire. Earth is stable and steady and aptly communicates Hotaru's desire for order and stability. At the same time, there's a fire in his eyes, a vicious compulsion to smite anyone who would threaten that order, and the irony is that magma, lava, and volcanic eruptions in real life are fairly unstable and not safe ground to sit on, and this is a metaphor for how Hotaru gets in his own way sometimes, his zealous adherence to order causing him to create more death and chaos than he realizes. Anyway, strength, very lovable, weakness, doorways. Cetrion. Moving on to Cetrion, everyone's favorite nagging aunt with some peculiar fashion sensibilities. Cetrion is the Dolores Umbridge of the Mortal Kombat universe. She's powerful, loyal to her higher-ups to a fault, and deeply unpopular. Also, she has this one move that kinda looks like lava. That's it. Moving on to Tremor. Fine, let's discuss her some more. Cetrion uses all 4 primary Western elements in battle. Yes, I'll keep saying Western every time, otherwise people will pretend like they don't know what I'm talking about. Mostly Westerners, ironically. Cetrion has a couple moves that make use of this compound element, most notably the end of this string, which looks like a mini volcanic eruption, and this one, where she earthbends a boulder out of the ground and blasts it to pieces with fire. That's bringing the element to life in real time right there. And I don't know, she doesn't seem that proficient in lava usage to me. For all we know, she could be a master of absolutely every single elemental permutation, but MK11 doesn't really make her seem that powerful in any one of these except perhaps Soul. Soul? She doesn't use Soul. Or does she? Soul is all 4 primary elements, Western elements, and you can basically use it in one of 2 ways, to bolster your own life force or to steal the life force of another. The body water, body matter, body heat, and body air? Oxygen? That didn't rhyme. Would have been better if it rhymed. But there is a third way to use this power, and that is to channel soul energy into the environment, thus breathing new life around you. We see this in Cetrion's intros. It's part of what makes her hentai tentacle thingies grow. It's what makes her grow. She's basically Hashirama, and this is her wood style. And this is my morning wood style. There are arguably 2 reasons why only she can use soul in this way. I'm sorry, is this a soul video? Get back to droning on about lava, f***ing of a bitch of a s***ing cunt. At any rate, it looks like Cetrion's main strength lies in using water, earth, fire, and air, more so than accessing a lot of the compounds like sand, lightning, or lava, so 6 out of 10 on the lava front. Would bang, but nothing to write home about.
We'll bang, okay?
But enough foreplay. We all know why we're here. To talk shit and waste our lives. We all know why we're here. To pay tribute to the one and only true master of lava. Tremor. You know, I have to say, even though we all know power levels are a joke in Mortal Kombat, I do kinda like this idea that the games unwittingly give off. That a damn near god tier character can come from anywhere. That all you really need to cross over into demigodhood and above is to master any single one of these elements to an absolute degree. And Tremor really is at least demigod tier. To be a great elemental practitioner, you need great genetics and a lifetime of practice, and I have no idea where Tremor comes from, but he certainly has both. All we know is that he's from Earthrealm, that he was affiliated with the Black Dragon clan, and apparently he's a huge Johnny Cage stan.
You're gonna like this.
I'm blessed to fight Johnny Cage.
Let's go over what makes this character exceptional. First off, most characters in MK generally specialize in one element. Scorpion uses fire, Kitana uses air, Raiden uses lightning. Heck, sometimes characters are limited to using a specific form or subdivision of an element, like how Sub-Zero can only manipulate ice, which is just water in a particular state. There are very few characters that have more than one element in their arsenals, and they tend to be royalty, demigods, royalty and demigods, or really powerful sorcerers. Shao Kahn uses a variety of elements like fire, shadow, and soul. Rain uses both water and lightning. Shang uses fire and soul, and Quan Chi employs illusion and soul via necromancy. Characters who have multiple elements under their belt are consistently shown to be part of an upper echelon of overall power level, except Tremor. I absolutely love that you've got all these uber gods and mages and thousand-year-old otherworldly beings flaunting their elemental prowess, and here comes Tremor, a fucking nobody, with his cocky demeanor and no-nonsense attitude, and displays absolute mastery over not one but two elements, one basic, one compound, along with every subset of those elements like crystal and metal. I almost said crystal meth for some reason. The man's so good at lava bending it's practically pouring out of him. He's got lava in his fucking victory pose, that's how much he loves it. So Tremor Boy, who again is a lowly human, has lava coming out of his arms, which should tell you everything you need to know, but if it doesn't, he also throws lava balls, shoots lava bursts that restand the opponent, drops literal piles of molten rock in your living room, and launches gigantic molten boulders at you from full screen that pop you up for a combo and can be chained about 5 times from full screen, not allowing you to break and building a ton of meter. They don't do this kind of shit anymore. And this is just one of his 2 forms that he gets in the same variation. That's how powerful they allowed him to feel, like he can just switch through this stuff on the fly, and I fucking love it. Presumably, Tremor was on the sidelines in MK Armageddon watching Blaze do his thing and going, pfft. Amateur. It's hard for me to imagine Tremor being done better than he was in MKX, and I guess NRS agrees with me because the next iteration they went with is a cameo. Lava as an element is pretty straightforward, but all of these 3 characters showcase the things that it does well. It's got the physical and kinetic properties of Earth, plus the extreme heat and explosive potential of fire. Clearly these 2 elements seem partly related, as they play well with each other both in terms of physical characteristics and in terms of the kinds of personality traits we ascribe to them, like perseverance, passion, warmth, anger, dependability, brutishness, aggression, all in contrast to the other 2 elemental cousins that are commonly associated with freedom, adaptability, being fickle, being easygoing, cold, duplicitous, wily, formless, free-spirited, deceitful. Lava is the ultimate instrument of warfare, fit for the unwavering military mind, so naturally is the perfect fit for the supremely confident Tremor, followed closely by the zealous Hotaru. Cetrion, she's kind of a little bitch, caught under the heel of her mother, not knowing if she should serve her, her fellow gods, or the natural order of things, so of course she can barely muster a tiny trickle of lava. Now if you'll excuse me, I think I'll go ahead and reinstall MKX for the nth fucking time, because I want more Tremor.